All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Devil's Den, and we are back. We just finished watching Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals, Edmonton Oilers versus the Florida Panthers. Florida wins 3-0 in Game 1, and it was a pretty freaking good game. Both teams came out like absolute wildfire, specifically Edmonton. It was a really good game on both sides for two very different reasons. But we're going to go over the game. We're not going to get too much into detail of who scored and who got points and whatever it is. I mainly just want to talk about the big moments I found in the game and the people that really stood out during Game 1. So, first of all, we'll go with the winning team first. So, like I said, Florida wins 3-0 in Game 1, and this game can basically be summed up for Florida in one name, and that's Sergei Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky easily stole that game. Edmonton gets like 32 to 35 shots the entire game. Florida ends up getting 17. Bobrovsky stole the show, and it's not even close. It's not even a comparison. It's not even the rest of the Florida guys didn't play well, but Bobrovsky was just so good the whole game from first period whistle puck drop to the final dying seconds of the third period. This guy had to make, I think, 2 or 3 breakaway saves, toe saves. Guy is on his back doing basically cartwheels, legs up in the air, trying to make saves. Bobrovsky played so freaking well. Like, unbelievably well. And I'm sorry, outside of a couple of mistakes that Edmonton makes early in the game to put them down 1 and 2-0, Edmonton did not play badly, like, whatsoever. And Florida really didn't play overly fantastic. They played well enough to win, and so they get the Game 1 win. But overall, Bobrovsky easily steals the show, and if his name is not coming up in Conn Smythe conversations in terms of who wins that trophy, if Florida ends up winning the cup, then I don't know what else he has to do, because he played great in the Rangers series, he's played great in Game 1, and like shut out hockey when you've got guys like Zach Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, Bouchard, McDavid, Draisaitl breathing down your neck. And by the way, we'll get to those guys when we talk about Edmonton, but like, he stole the show, and it's so nice being able to see goalies getting like proper recognition, because I can't tell you how many times, specifically as a Jersey fan, how many times our goalies get like laid out to pasture and lambasted and blamed for like the team's not doing well. But oh my god, it's so nice seeing goalies get like legit recognition for all the work they do, and Bobrovsky in Game 1 absolutely deserves it. So, let's talk about Edmonton. Edmonton played a really great game. They had 35 shots on net. They held a Florida offense, some of the hottest offense in the league, to 17 shots all game. Now, you might say, well, that was just Florida's offense not producing. But, like, they've got an absolutely fantastic offense down there on the Florida Panthers. So the fact that the defense for Edmonton was able to hold them to 17 shots, when you can compare that to the Rangers series, when these guys were getting 30 to 40 shots a game, and they're holding them to half of that, that's really well done on Edmonton's part. McDavid by himself got like 5 to 7 shots on net. You had Hyman crushing the net. You had Draisaitl being the power forward that he always is and always has been. Like, Edmonton played so freaking well. They really did. And if not for Bobrovsky, you put any other goaltender in the league in net, maybe outside of Shesterkin, Edmonton wins that game. But because of Bobrovsky, Edmonton loses this game. It's 3-0, but they scored an empty net goal, so realistically a 2-0 game. It's close the entire game. Edmonton's defense were really able to shut down that Florida wave after wave after wave of assault that we saw in the New York Rangers series. So Edmonton gets a lot of credit, and again, if not for Bobrovsky, I don't know what more Edmonton can do. Do they need to ramp up the intensity quite a bit? Because I'll tell you, third period was incredibly intense for Edmonton. Beginning of the first period, coming out of the gates immediately, they came out like thunder, and like Bobrovsky just held the door on them. Second period was definitely more Florida, but like still, the second period was very back and forth. It wasn't one side dominating the game the entire time, which, again, third period was all Edmonton. The first half of the first period was all Edmonton. Second period was very back and forth. So it's not like Edmonton did not get, and the score does not show how close the game was in terms of both sides getting their licks in and getting their opportunities. One thing I want to mention, though, for Florida, to sort of give Florida some more credit here, halfway through the second period, Florida registered, I think, something like 30-something hits, and we were halfway through the game. I'd have to check how many hits they finish with, but like, this is going to be such a heavily hit series in terms of people laying hits back and forth, and the number of hits and the banged up and bruised players that we're going to see by the end of this series is going to be crazy. Because if Florida's going to lay out 30-something hits halfway through the game, then you know Edmonton's coming out of this series beaten, bruised, and bloodied, okay? Because there's beaten, bruised, bloodied, and Bobrovski'd, okay? That's what they're going to be. Yeah, not really much else to say. So, game 1 goes to Florida. We will see how Edmonton responds in game 2. I believe that's going to be on... Today's Saturday, probably, I want to say Monday or Tuesday night. Something tells me Tuesday, but it could be Monday as well. We'll be back here for another Devil's Den video for Game 2. Like I said, I'm doing videos for every single Stanley Cup final game, as long as I'm not, obviously, elsewhere occupied, which does sometimes tend to happen. But like I said, we're going to be going over every single game for the Stanley Cup final. Game 1 goes to Florida, and I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.